Well, ladies and gentlemen, the anti-Trump protests continue to get more violent and more violent as they go on. And for some reason, the leftist media, the liberal media, liberal Hollywood, liberal professors don't seem to want to denounce this type of behavior. No, in fact, quite the opposite. They are even promoting it. Now, a guy that I found today is actually employed at the University of California, Berkeley. His name is Robert Reich, and this is a man who has little man syndrome, and he's decided that he is going to resist Donald Trump, and he's going to use whatever bully pulpit he has to try to promote the resistance of Donald Trump. And what he's tried to do here is he's trying to pull the Keith Olbermann and be Alex Jones of the left. He started his own little YouTube videos he's doing. He's got his, special reports on how they can resist Donald Trump. Sorry, buddy, you're a little late to the party. Yeah, you can see his little drawings. He likes to makes little drawings. That's cute. His little drawings, little man syndrome, trying to resist Donald Trump. But let's go ahead and run through some of these highlights, because here's the deal, folks. The people who are inciting this, antagonizing this, are the ones that need to be held accountable. And if they're not going to look in the mirror and realize they're partly responsible for this activity that's going on, like what we saw at the Berkeley protest last night, well, then we're going to have to hold their feet to the fire, and we're going to have to push for accountability. And I don't know what degrees we'll have to go through, what measures we'll have to take, but shedding light on the people who are promoting this is the first step. So let's go to some of these highlights from some of the videos you can see from Robert Reich.
March and demonstrate. The Women's March on Washington will be the day after the inauguration. There should be sister marches around the country, and then monthly marches against hate. Keep the momentum alive and keep the message going.
So there he is right there promoting the marches, promoting the protests, which is fine. We're all about free speech. We've had our own protests. We're all about getting out there, getting on the street, executing your First Amendment right. But if you look at the anti-Trump protest, it's turned violent every time, and it's only getting more violent. So again, when will the people promoting these marches look in the mirror, or at least denounce all the violent activity that we're seeing? Robert Reich certainly hasn't yet. Let's roll to the next one.
Number three, make your city and state sanctuaries that won't cooperate with federal immigration authorities in deporting undocumented immigrants, especially people who've been here since they were very young.
See, I love this. Now he's openly promoting breaking the law. And guess what? The beauty of this is, as soon as Donald Trump cuts federal funding to those sanctuary cities, good luck. And we'll have more on that about federal funding and how we can use that, or cutting federal funds, to stymie the Trump protests. Let's roll to the next one.
Write letters to the editor of your newspaper and op-eds with a steady flow of arguments about the fallacies and dangers of Trump's first 100-day policies and initiatives.
There's this cute little drawing. Yeah, the problem with that, Reich, is that we've talked to the Trump protesters on the street. You think that they're going to be able to form thoughts in clear, coherent consciousness and put it down onto paper? They can't even answer a simple question when you put a camera in front of their face. They're holding up a sign, you ask them about their sign, they don't even know what's going on. It's amazing. So if you really think that the people that you're sending out there to protest Donald Trump are intelligent enough or quick-witted enough to actually put forth coherent thoughts onto paper and send that out to news organizations or politicians, well, unfortunately, you are terribly, terribly confused at where the intelligence lies in this. Let's roll to the next one.
Contribute to the most effective opposition groups.
Oh,
the
like
American
George
Civil
Soros.
Liberties Union, Common Cause, the Southern Poverty Law Center, the Economic Policy Institute.
I think someone from the ACLU actually just got arrested.
And others.
Oh, and look at that. And he plugs himself. Here's the funny thing. He says, give us money, give us money. Give money to people who are protesting Donald Trump. But wait a second. What do you get for it? See, we plug products here. If you support us, we provide a product. If you support us, you get a great product, a great t-shirt, a great water filter. Robert Reich just wants you to give him money so he can keep speaking out against Trump. Go ahead, give Robert Reich money. See if you get anything out of it. So if you want to flush your money down the toilet, you might as well give it to Robert Reich. But you know what? He'll give you a nice video, which gives us content. So let's roll to the next one.
Reach out to independents and even Trump supporters who agree with this agenda and get them involved.
Now, this just shows how out of touch with reality this man actually is. You're trying to incite Trump protests. You think Trump supporters are going to come onto your side? I mean, folks, this guy literally is living in La La Land. And this is an illustration of the minions who are out there protesting. They don't live in reality, folks. Let's roll to the next one.
The first 100 days resistance agenda, an hour a day. Let's set the tone for a new, more engaged America and send a powerful message that we are not going away.
So there he is saying, we're not going away. We're going to keep protesting no matter how many buildings we smash and loot and burn down. But the funny thing is, again, they're missing it. The Trump movement is the resistance movement. The Trump movement is the revolution. You're behind the times. You're on the wrong side of history. Let's roll to the next one.
Historically, tyrants have tried to control the press using 4 techniques that, worryingly, Donald Trump is already using. Number 1, berate the media and turn the public against it.
See, again, you don't understand here, Reich. The public was already against the media. The media was already corrupted by tyrants. You're behind the times, bro. Okay, maybe your necktie is a little too tight and you're not getting blood flow to that little brain. All right? So, again, you are living in denial of reality. The reason Trump was elected is because we already don't trust the media. Not vice versa. Understand that. Roll to the next one.
When he lies, claiming, for example, massive voter fraud in the election.
He lies about that, even though it's proven.
And the media call him on those lies. He says the media is lying.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let's find out when more investigations come out what the truth is about voter fraud. You're going to look like an absolute fool. This guy, I'm serious, folks. This guy is a complete Looney Tune, and he reminds me of the character of David Nelson on South Park a midget that Eric Cartman wrestles in the dirt. I'm just saying, that's who he reminds me of. Roll to the next one.
Even televised satires, he labels unfunny, one-sided, and pathetic.
Donald Trump says it like it is. I kind of like that. Roll to the next one.
During the campaign, Trump threatened to sue the New York Times for libel in response to an article about 2 women who accused Trump of touching them inappropriately years ago. He says he plans to open up our libel laws so when they write purposely negative and horrible and false articles, we can sue them and win lots of money.
He's upset about this. This upsets Robert Reich. Well, how dare he want to sue people that lie about him? How dare he want to sue people that commit libel against him? Okay, Robert, you know what? How about I write a story about making up things about you? How would you like that? Oh, you'd want to sue me for libel, wouldn't you? If I came on air and I said that Robert Reich is actually a woman dressing as a man, I think that you would probably want to sue me for libel or slander or something like that. So again, this doesn't even make sense. Donald Trump is saying, if people lie about you, if people commit libel against you, you know what? We're going to start suing these people because we're seeing what the media has done to agitate, conquer, and divide this country. The media has been the biggest enemy of the republic, and now we know it. And Donald Trump wants to stop the lying fake news media from committing acts of libel against him, against myself, against you, against everybody. But Robert Reich doesn't understand that because he's part of the liberal media. Let's roll to the next one.
Trump tweets incessantly, issues videos,
oh my God,
and holds large rallies, all of which further enable him to lie directly to the public with impunity.
See, they've had a monopoly on media. They've had a control over media. Donald Trump, pun intended, has trumped that control and goes right to the people. And this infuriates the left. They want to filter the news coverage so that they can pander to their agenda. Sorry, Trump is beating you again. Let's roll to the next one.
Steve Bannon, remember, is or was the publisher of Breitbart News, that alt-right white supremacist foul
so mad. He's so mad.
of racism and hatefulness. What is this man doing on the Principals Committee of the National Security Council?
This guy is like an angry hobbit. And again, he doesn't cite any instance of Breitbart or Steve Bannon doing anything racist or anything white supremacist. This is a total false narrative. This is what's fomenting the violence and the protests in the streets. This is why people like Robert Reich need to be held accountable. Let's roll to the next one.
The silver lining here, to the extent that there is a silver lining, and I want to end these little resistance reports to you. I tried to.
Your little attempt to be Alex Jones.
At least a little bit positive, and there is something positive here. You see, so many Americans, particularly after seeing 8 or 9 days of Trump's
they like it.
Unhinged
Yeah, they
behavior,
like it. Approval ratings go up.
Seeing the danger that he is posing to our
the
democracy.
protesters that you're
Even if
inciting
they
are the danger.
Republicans. These Americans are beginning to wake up. They're waking up to the danger. They are beginning to get involved. People who have not been involved in politics, who have not understood that part of citizenship is activism, are becoming activated.
And that's why we elected Donald Trump. You still don't get it. Roll to the next one.
Demonstrations are a means of reassuring ourselves and also
Oh, did you hear that?
demonstrating to
Reassuring
power
ourselves.
that we have the numbers.
No, you don't have the numbers. See, I love that part. We're reassuring ourselves by coming out here and protesting together. That is total confirmation bias. They're reassuring themselves that they have numbers by going out and protesting. It's just creating their own little fake realities. Roll to the next one.
By a man who looks and acts more and more unhinged every day.
No, that's you. That's the left. Now, I love this.
Make sure he is impeached.
So he's up here talking about, now, I watch this. He's gonna mock Donald Trump here. Look at this. He's doing the Trump hand. Even he likes Donald Trump. He can't even deny it. Look at this. Mockery is the greatest form of flattery. He's doing the Donald Trump hand, folks. Okay? He's doing the Trump hand. Even the people that hate Trump can't help but mock Trump because they're flattered by him. Roll to the next one.
So keep at it.
Keep at it. Keep rioting.
Getting involved.
Keep looting and rioting and burning.
Keep showing Donald Trump and showing the world that we are not sitting back in this country letting this happen.
So there you go.
Keep resisting.
There you go, folks. Keep resisting. He's out here encouraging more violent protests. Now, here's the thing about this guy. He says he knew Hillary Clinton since he was 19 years old, but he believed that Bernie Sanders was the most qualified to be president. He said that Clinton was the most qualified in the current political system, aka the corrupt political system, but Bernie was the most qualified in the system we should have, aka socialist. So he admits he's a socialist. Now, here's why we get violent protest. Nancy Pelosi calls Steve Bannon a white supremacist, just like Robert Reich just did. Now, Nancy Pelosi might be completely senile. And this is what Pelosi said during a press briefing. What's making America less safe is a white supremacist named to the National Security Council as a member. It's a stunning thing that a white supremacist would be a permanent member. Again, false narrative, fomenting people to be upset and riot and loot. Now, they keep using this phrase, white nationalism, too. They're going to try to insert white nationalism to try to use that as white supremacy, kind of just flip-flopping white nationalism, white supremacy. It's really the same thing that they're trying to say. But this is what's fomenting the violence. And look at this, more evidence of paid protest. The CEO of Lux Valet will provide paid leave to people who want to go protest President Trump. So now you have companies that are out here enabling the violent protest. In an email, he sent out how upset he is over Donald Trump and how he's going to organize and pay his employees to go protest Donald Trump. Now, let's get back to California, Berkeley for a second here. You know who is a student there? Alex Soros, the son of George Soros. Do you think that is a coincidence? I do not. Now, what's also disturbing about this, here's a story out of CNN. The university blames 150 masked agitators for the unrest, but apparently there was only one arrest. How is that possible? Here's what I think. I think they need to send Milo out as bait, have cops, FBI, DHS ready. They send Milo in. As soon as you see people start protesting and rioting, mainly just the violent rioters, you go ahead and arrest them. But here's the thing. All these people protesting Milo, why can't we label them as homophobic anti-Semites? Milo's a homosexual Jewish person, so all the protesters that are protesting him must be homophobic anti-Semites that don't believe in free speech. And now Trump is saying that he might cut federal funding to UC Berkeley, which I think is a great idea. Now, USA Today says it's not likely. So you know what, Donald Trump, why don't you just go ahead and bitch slap USA Today right across the face? Go ahead and cut that federal funding from UC Berkeley, which, by the way, is almost $400 million is the numbers that I'm hearing. So we'll continue to see what those exact numbers are. But you cut that funding, you cut the sanctuary city funding, you eliminate a lot of these problems immediately. I think Donald Trump is going to do it. And the amazing thing, Hollywood director tweets threat to Trump supporters after Berkeley riot. So they're out here saying, this is your fault. Do you realize what you're doing? This is only the beginning. Do you really want a civil war? Have you seen the people out in the streets protesting Donald Trump? They are the weakest, most chicken-necked Nellies I've ever seen in my life. I could take out a whole block of them. It's a joke. Now, here's the embarrassing thing. George Soros tweets out a picture of Martin Luther King saying that the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. reminds us that in an open society, we must always strive for racial equality. No, Martin Luther King wanted people to not be seen for their race anymore. And he marched to prove a point, because when he marched, he got attacked. Now that happens to Trump supporters.
In case you haven't heard, InfoWars has become the most influential media outlet in America. We're making freedom go viral. And now we are proud to announce a new weapon in the epic battle against the globalists. InfoWars Prime, where you can watch live high-definition feeds of the Alex Jones Show, plus exclusive insider videos from the InfoWars crew and behind-the-scenes action. Go to Infowars.com/app and download today. InfoWars Prime is available right now for your iPhone or Android. You will have access to exclusive videos that you can't see anywhere else. And that means live coverage of events and breaking news on location as it happens. You can also take advantage of amazing deals from the InfoWars store that are only available for InfoWars Prime subscribers. That's InfoWars Prime at Infowars.com/app. And if you can hear my voice, you are the resistance.